Hey everybody, welcome to the hit podcast, The Adult Baby Show. This is episode number 67. I am B.
I am Chick.
And I am Chris.
Alright, and here we are. The three of us are back together again, folks.
Yes, we are.
How you guys doing?
B, you seem a little loose today.
I'm a little loose.
Are you? Alright, I thought so. I just felt you just look like you're feeling good.
Yeah. Well, you know, it's all this... I'm on a sugar high. Sour Patch Kids and the gummy bears.
Yeah, you brought two candies today.
Yeah.
It's just a sugar high, there's no drugs?
Yeah, no, John, come on.
Okay, because it just seemed like, even when you got in here and said hello to me, he seemed like he was a little, froggy.
Dude, you're froggy.
I'm always froggy.
Want to get into one thing. I have a moth living in my shower for the last 4 days. What do you guys think about that?
When you say living, it's alive?
Oh, it's alive, yeah.
And how come you haven't killed it yet?
Well, here's the thing. Here's how I treat animals. I try to kill them. No, I tried to kill the moth on day one. I saw it in my shower in the morning. I got there. There's a moth flying around. So I took water and I took water in the palm of my hand and I sprayed it at him, right? Okay. Thinking he would drown.
Is it true that if you knock the dust, so to speak,
that's what I was
off
going
of
for.
A moth's back and it can't fly?
That's what I was thinking.
You've never heard that?
No. Yeah. That's like
I
what
feel like
I've
that's
always heard.
I can't imagine that's true.
I can't imagine without dust it can't fly. It's
well,
not
it's
fucking
no,
fairy.
I know.
No, but I think
you
it's
guys watching too much Peter Pan. I need pixie dust to fly.
But I don't think it's sort of there's a dusting on there, but it might be just if you put water on it, the wings just collapse.
Yeah, because it's so weak.
Oh, so it's weak as shit.
Right.
But what?
So
I just can't believe it's still alive.
So the way I treat this is have you ever seen like when a butcher shop, like when a cow gets loose from a butcher shop?
No, I'm sorry, I have not seen.
You've never seen this? Mm-mm. You guys haven't lived, so you've never seen a
new. I haven't lived because I haven't seen a butcher escape.
You've never seen a cow escape from a butcher shop on the news. Where
one,
a cow
I didn't know
the
butcher shops are where they kill the actual.
Yeah, not all of us work for a butcher.
Yeah, now he works for a butcher. It's like out of the realm of possibility that we didn't see.
First of all, a lot of people listening have been like, yeah, this is a news story that happens probably 3 times a year. A cow
local news
in New York City on the Grand Central Parkway.
This guy?
I don't believe this.
I cannot. I'm talking to a couple of duds here because you guys don't follow the news.
That is
You're up on my
out of the
cow
3 of
escapes.
us, I would probably put a bet on it, a pretty confident bet, that you watch the news the least out of the 3 of us.
Oh, definitely.
100%. You may know this.
I watch the news less than you, but I know more of the news than you.
No fucking way.
Yeah.
All right, but I want to
He's an expert on cows getting loose in Manhattan.
First of all, this happens 3 times a year.
You're saying 3 times a year like that's a lot. And it's not mainstream.
It happens
news.
3 times a year, probably in Queens. It happened twice this summer. So there's always. You can Google it right now.
I'm not saying that you're lying.
I'm not
lying. I just don't think this is. No, I'm not even accusing you.
I believe you that you know this.
I think that this is just not common knowledge to people.
It's 100% common knowledge, and I guarantee we'll get some emails on this because you.
Oh yeah, we get so many emails.
People email us every
Big shout out to Matt for today's the email last week, and we're actually gonna
that was fantastic
post a picture.
Work, but thank you for interrupting. Once in a while you'll see a cow escape from a butcher shop, and what they do, it is predetermined. Once a cow escapes,
it's dead.
No, they take it to a no-kill shelter because it made it through.
So
no way that's how they do. They just.
No. I cannot believe I'm talking to you guys and you don't know this. This is like.
This is so. I want to give some backtrack. So if the cow gets out, they basically say, "You got out."
Yes.
Now you survive.
They'll usually name it like if it goes loose on it's on Bell. They're able to corral it on Bell Boulevard. They'll name it I'm
picturing a cowboy hanging in the cow.
If you Google
on Union Turnpike,
if you Google Union Turnpike cow loose, something will come up. Guarantee it. This happens all the time. I'm dead serious.
All right, and he's like, again, I don't not believe you. I just don't like. I just don't feel it's
like
common. Yeah, but I mean, I just don't feel like it's as common knowledge.
It doesn't happen once a month, but it happens. It happens.
All right.
It happens more often than you guys.
It makes me cheer for the cows and want them. I wish they knew this going into it that if they get out,
like if they got like a memo about it.
Well, Maybe they
Here's
do.
the rules of the game, guys.
By the way, this would be a great Pixar movie of cows just trying to escape a
Getting
butcher
out of
shop.
the butcher shop.
Dude.
Yeah.
Because you know, Pixar movies always have like a dark side to them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, it's almost like
It's always
Dumbo
like a
for the
death or
modern
something.
age.
Yeah, like the cow's mom doesn't make it or something.
Yep, the cow. And he's like, I'm not going to live the same fate that my dad did.
Yeah.
And then he takes off down Grand Central. But so
That's why I love it on Grand Central.
so this is something that I treat most bugs. If I see a bug in my house, I'll try to kill it once, but if it escapes me, then I let it live. So the moth came
I
in.
feel like escaping you would be easy. So let's go. Let's see how this goes.
I'm gentle. That's why.
That's why.
So the moth comes into my shower, and I try to dispose of it. And I didn't see it. It must have been hot. The next day, I'm taking the shower the next morning, and I see the moth there. There he is. He's hiding out in the corner. And now I'm like, well, you live here now. So it's been 4 days.
And you're sure it's the same moth? You don't have like a nest of moths?
No, he's a brown moth. He's a brown moth.
What's his name?
I don't name him.
Oh.
You named him.
No, I didn't name him.
You totally
I didn't name him. But it's a brown moth. He kind of fits into the like the concrete, I guess it is. What is it?
Brick?
I don't know.
It's not brick. What's in the shower?
Tile?
Tile. That's the
Okay.
word. And yeah, he fits in there. So I'm gonna let him live as long as he lives. He's living off.
He's gonna be dead when you get
He's
home.
living off
He's
my
not
soul.
in my space.
What's the average moth's lifespan? Do we know? Have you looped
Probably
it?
4 to 5 days. So I
He's
Well,
definitely the type of person to let a moth squat in his home.
yeah,
don't know.
no,
Not in
exactly.
my home, in my shower.
Just when he's naked in the shower.
It's a
he
very
does.
private place.
It is. That's
Yeah.
I
why.
was gonna say I'd rather be in my room than my shower.
Well, that's why it's
There's been a fly in my room for the past day and a half. I couldn't catch it though.
Really?
That's the difference.
You guys are just not good at killing ants and bugs, apparently.
No,
You
I-
take a couple swats. What are you supposed to do? Keep swatting all night?
It depends how annoying it is.
It
Yeah.
wasn't that annoying.
Yeah,
I once bought one of those electric fly swatters. Have you ever seen those?
love those. Did you see?
Yeah,
the
you ever touch one by accident?
Yeah.
Why it actually
Yeah.
stings though?
Yeah.
Yeah, but not terrible.
No, it's not
though.
horrible.
I didn't think
but
it
it's
would-
like,
yeah.
It stings.
One of the first places I used to do comedy at, Stand Up New York. When I first started going there, the manager there had one of those electric fly swatters, and he would stand out there and zap,
Just whap them.
and we would just zap bugs all day. And then we
called
were
it barking.
that was barking, and then we would hit it, and you get a little.
I like.
Oh.
No, go.
Oh yeah, we had at the pharmacy I worked at when I used to work in like the front counter area.
Mhm.
We started selling them, and one night after work, like all the kids that I worked with, we all took one home with us, and we had like, a fight with them in the back
Oh,
parking
yeah.
lot.
They were fun, man.
That was a good time.
Did you see the? I guess it's not really an ant killer or a bug killer, but the air salt guns.
No.
My
Air
buddy shoots
salt?
like.
Oh, I know what you're talking
It's like,
about. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
it's just a burst of like it's like an air
It's just-
salt gun,
yeah,
and it shoots out like salt. And my buddy shoots bugs like he's nasty with the thing.
Yeah.
Wait, but so it's salt and it kills them on contact?
It just I don't
I think
know
it's
exactly
because
what.
it's going so
Oh,
quick. It's
Yeah,
It's like a
it's not like a little boop.
It's
salt.
like a bullet.
Yeah,
but
it's
of
like
salt.
pop, and you hear it. That sounds like an air gun, and
Is
it's
it
just
Like
Does
you,
it, like,
you
spray?
probably have like
Yeah,
a
it
little
sprays
welt
salt.
or something if you got hit.
yeah, you would probably
Yeah.
get a little something, but
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
and it sprays
Nothing
out and it
crazy.
just shoots.
Oh,
through
I
the
haven't
fucking-
seen that.
Yeah.
It's
That
pretty
looks-
cool.
it is
It's
pretty
fun because he's walking out there with his gun,
Yeah.
shooting fucking bugs in the backyard.
I remember like growing up, like the neighbors across the street. Everybody had one of those little purple zappers that.
Yes.
You remember that?
Yes.
And you'd be
You
sitting
mean
out.
like the lamps that just kind of?
Yeah, they were like these purple lamps in a black box, and they were.
Yes, I totally
yeah,
know what
they
you're
were like
talking
neon lights, and
There's
you
always
just.
dead bugs corralled at the
Yeah,
bottom.
and you'd sit around in a barbecue, and you would just you like you would hear them fry.
See, brings me into. We can go somewhere with this because I got a couple things on this now. One, have you seen the new mosquito trapper that there's a commercial for?
No, but
And
I
they
can't
pick
wait to
up
hear
this
about it.
thing. I don't even know what it is. It looks like it's something that attracts the mosquitoes. They get in there and die.
Okay.
And then you like clean it out. But like on the commercial that I saw, they pick up the top and it's just like fucking
like a sea.
carnage. Like it's like 1,000
It's a
mosquitoes.
genocide of
Yeah,
mosquitoes.
it's a genocide of
We're
mosquitoes.
celebrating
It's like 1,000 in there, and I'm
Oh,
like,
man.
you know, it's good for them, but like that's crazy. It's just
Yeah.
how many it killed. The other thing was, what about lightning bugs?
Dude,
AKA fireflies. I hate when people call them fireflies.
Me too.
Doesn't that
They're
bother
lightning
They're
bugs.
lightning bugs.
Fireflies.
Yeah.
I hate when people call them
If
fireflies.
any listener calls them fireflies, how about you just stop listening, okay?
We don't listen,
No,
but...
yeah, no.
We don't need your.
But we used to hit those things with wiffle ball bats.
Yeah, and
just see them go boom, fly.
Yeah,
Because you gotta
yeah.
wait for them to light up to see them, and then you whack it.
Well, the crazy thing is, when you don't have to wait till they light up. If you see them in the
Well,
light,
yes, if you see them in the light, you can hone in on them.
Yeah,
if
but
you
they're
give
not
them a
fun
good,
when you see
if
them
you
in
give
the
them a
light.
good spank on the ass, they light up in death. They when you hit them,
They almost short out.
that's what it is.
Yeah, they almost short out.
They-
Totally
it's-
what I'm
it's-
talking about.
Do you know what the light is? Do you know?
I don't. Do you?
No, that's what I mean. I was hoping somebody here
Somebody
knew.
write
I
in.
feel like
What's
it's
the
probably
light?
common knowledge, but I have no idea what it is.
Come on, scientists. That
Yeah,
listen
what
to
is
this.
it?
But
What
my
is it?
cousin used to catch him in his hand. Now, he was always older than us. He was like, I don't know, 10, 15 years older than us when we were kids. He was in his 20s. And he used to catch him in his palm and then smash him on his head and have like the light shit on his
Oh,
forehead.
God,
It's
yeah.
kind of filthy, but he
I
used to do it all the
I used to
time.
put it on my arm.
Yeah, it's so
Like put a
gross.
bee on my arm. Yeah,
What about cicadas?
don't like them.
Yeah, so
Not
what's the
happy
deal with
them.
cicadas?
That's
So
what I was going to say. Do you remember when they
come
were...
every 10 years or something?
7,
like
I
that?
think. I
7.
think it's a
Yeah, but
7
they're
year...
still around.
Well,
Like,
that's the thing. They don't
That's
come
the
every
thing.
7 years. I think they...
I think they
rehatch
infest every 7 years.
It's like every 7 years something they maybe... Like that's what they're breeding or something.
So
I have
they
no
live
idea.
for 7 years?
Not
No,
necessarily.
They live for like 10 minutes. I feel
Right,
like.
right. I feel like
They
don't
hang
live that
around
long.
for the meantime, like you see them around. But I remember when I first moved in here, when I moved to Farmingdale, it was
Where'd you come from?
came from Bensonhurst, Brooklyn.
Oh.
Real shocker.
That explains a lot.
And we.
How old were you?
I was 5,
Okay.
4.5, 5.
So did you like go to preschool there or something?
No, actually, I went to I think 1 year preschool there maybe, and then I went to Kitty College in
Kitty College?
in Bethpage.
fuck is that?
That was the name of my name.
That was the only way he was able to go
That was
to
the
college.
name. That was the name. The only college I graduated from was Kitty College in preschool.
You put that in your resume?
I should. I never thought about that. But yeah, that.
Well, it won't make it worse. So.
My resume is
Kumasum
stellar.
nap time at Kitty College?
But no, that's where I went to whatever preschool here. But anyway, I moved here around 88, 89. I think I was 4 or 5 years old.
Right.
Yeah, and when I just remember when I first moved here, the cicadas were like nuts. Like it was
Yeah.
whatever that year was, like in the late 80s, early 90s. All I feel like is you woke up and it was just like, all it sounded like a buzzer. A buzzer.
It was just a buzzer out there.
You don't know what
You
cicadas
always
are?
thought you
No,
were on
he
a
knows
game
it.
show. No, I
He
know
knows
what they are. I just didn't know what the deal with them coming every however many
okay.
years.
I think-
Yeah,
I
I
think
remember
it's
as a
7
kid
years.
always being creeped out. My grandpa lives up in Port Washington, and when my cousins used to come visit, I'd like stay at their house for weeks at a time. And they always had like a major infestation of cicadas. I feel like,
Mhm.
and like they'd just be kind of
Those are the creepiest fucking
They're
bugs.
the
They're the worst.
creepiest fucking bug. And I remember as a kid just being so scared of them.
Oh, dude, we used to grab those things up by the fucking wings and just like whip it off things because they were so fun to throw. You can, it's like, when I think about it, it's so bad. But
Yeah.
like, I mean, they're only bugs.
Well, they were
but-
going down to die. That's the way I feel.
I feel like if they're on the ground, they already, you know.
I had a dog that used to play with them in his mouth, and you would just see, it looked like a cartoon. They would go in his mouth and go, and you would see his mouth like buzzing. But you know what the messed up thing about cicadas was, aside from everything else, is that they would just die and leave their carcass.
Yeah,
There was just like
that's what I remember too.
there
The
was just like-
carcass.
It was like they were just hanging out, eating lunch, and on the table, and then there was a skeleton, an empty skeleton, or whatever. Maybe they
Yeah,
shed
it was
their
like that
skin, I don't
light
even know.
brown. It almost
Yes.
looked like a
like a snake skin.
Yeah,
Maybe
exactly.
that's what it was. It wasn't snake
No, it's
skin.
not snakeskin. It was a cicada.
Cicada skin.
I know, but
Oh, I don't know if it's the same type of thing.
I
But
would go with it's not.
I would kind of agree with you on that because it's a totally different.
yeah, but they were hollow. So I think
well,
it-
any skin that's left, like that, there's nothing in it anymore, is going to be hollow. Oh,
Right.
sorry.
I understand. I get that, but I think that they might shed their skin because I don't know. We'd have to get our scientists.
We need a bug specialist for this episode.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dude, we should have gotten one. I know so many.
Do you?
No, I don't fucking know.
You
You
don't
know
know
what else
any
I'm
bugs?
excited about this week?
What are you excited about?
Because now you got me. As time goes, there's things that are popping into my brain.
Yeah, that's what it's all about.
I am super hyped to go see the new Quentin Tarantino movie,
Yes.
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Looks really good, right?
Bought a ticket today. I'm going Friday at 10:15 at the Farmingdale UA. If anybody wants to meet me there.
10:15 at night?
Yeah, Friday night.
Friday,
I figured my buddy was gonna go around 6ish. I didn't want to go that early.
No,
No, Saturday night.
I hired him
I must
Saturday
have
night.
See, B hired me on Saturday night to be his Uber driver.
You'll
But
find out next week and see if he
I
comes
can't
out.
wait to see this movie. This is Quentin Tarantino's ninth flick.
And he's only making 10, right?
Is this a chick pick?
Allegedly.
It's not a chick pick because I haven't seen it yet, but yeah, I could pretty much say go see it. It's gonna be a fucking
Tarantino's
kids.
got some
The
good
guy,
stuff.
he's not gonna make
But I heard it got a
much.
7-minute ovation or 7 or 9 minute standing ovation at the Cannes Film
Well, that's
Festival.
way excessive.
Yeah,
Can you
that's
imagine
some
watching a whole
Hollywood
movie and then
shit, dude.
standing up and
Well, he
that's
was
like
probably
fake
there.
Hollywood
No,
nonsense.
that's
All
Cannes
right,
is a big
7
film.
minutes?
Cannes is a
I know
huge
Cannes is
film
huge.
festival.
Yeah.
I believe he was there, and they gave him like a huge ovation.
stand
when
up
it
for
was
2
done.
minutes and see how
I
long.
feel like
it is.
7.
I don't know if the
7
actual
is
minutes
fake.
is that
2 I
accurate.
would buy.
Yeah,
7 is fake.
I don't think that's that far fetched. But
7
if
minutes?
you really like a movie, he's one of my favorite directors. So
Yeah.
if I was there, I would not
Favorite
sit down.
Tarantino movie? What is it?
We were having this discussion trying to rank them, and it's near impossible.
Right.
My number 1 is Pulp Fiction.
Mine
My
too.
number 2 is Reservoir Dogs.
Yeah.
I think those are the
Reservoir.
those were his first 2, and
I love
probably, in my
Reservoir.
opinion, those were his best 2.
Yep.
Now, for those who are wondering, he's only done 8. Yeah, he's only done 8 films.
They're all good though.
Death Proof is not considered one of his 8, even though he wrote and
I don't
directed.
even know that one.
Well, Death Proof was the Grindhouse film that they made in 2
Oh, okay,
parts,
okay.
and they had Death Proof and I forget the name of the other one that Robert Rodriguez wrote and directed, and they
Yeah.
split it. So I think that's why it's not in there. 4 Rooms, he directed the whole last scene, which
Right.
was excellent. But the only 9 movies now that he
9?
wrote and directed was, I believe it was in this order. It was Reservoir Dogs, Pulp Fiction, Jackie Brown,
Jackie Brown.
The 2 Kill Bills,
Mm-hmm.
Django, Hateful Eight, Inglourious Bastards,
I love Inglourious Basterds.
and now this one, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
This one looks fantastic.
And this
It
one,
looks so good.
at first I thought it was centered around, when I first heard it, I thought it was centered around the Marilyn Manson, Sharon Tate killings and all that shit,
Mhm.
but it's not. It's really about that period of time in Hollywood. I heard it's like a comedy, drama, and it's going to have some gore and shit. But I heard that's really not a big part of it.
Okay.
So going in expecting it to be like that, but the guy who plays Marilyn Manson looks just like him.
Oh, okay.
Charles Manson, when I say Marilyn Manson.
Yeah.
Charles Manson looks just like him, but it looks fantastic. And it's gotten sick reviews. I am so excited to see this. I don't go to the movies often. I went to see The Last
Really?
Avengers. Yeah,
I feel
I
like
watch a ton. I'm not a big movie
You don't
guy,
like
but
the experience of it?
I do, but it got so overpriced, and they was watching them
It's
for
really
free.
fucking
I'm not a big,
expensive,
financially, I don't have the money to just piss
He's
away
not a
all
big
the time.
financial buff.
Yeah.
Yeah, but either way, I only would go out for
He's not a-
select movies.
He's not a tycoon.
The Tupac movie, I went to the theaters to see that.
That was
All
it.
eyes on me.
How was that?
It was excellent. Me and my buddy saw it the night it came out.
Was it excellent? I never saw it.
I told you, I'm very biased with Tupac. He's probably
Yeah.
my favorite artist and musician of all time.
Okay.
But I'm gonna go see this movie. I saw Avengers. Like, there's certain movies that I want to go to the theaters to see.
Yeah. Certain you have to. I saw Toy
and this
Story
one, I
4.
just don't want to wait to
Mhm.
see it. That's why I'm going out. Like, it's not like this is the type of movie that needs to be seen in a theater. But I'm
But
excited.
you want to see it first before most
Yeah,
people.
I don't want to read reviews or have anything that
Right.
skews my views of it
Mhm.
before I go in.
That's
so
cool.
that's
I can't
and-
wait to get your take on it next week.
yeah, I'm
I do
super
actually
excited
wanna hear that
about.
one.
Yeah, I can't wait to see it.
This movie looks great.
Part of me thinks I'm going to wind up going back, and it's only an hour and a half as opposed to most of his flicks are super long.
Thank you, Quentin.
Yeah,
I
come on,
love
I can't
an
do
hour
it.
and a half.
His movies are never, oh my god, this is too long.
You're right.
That's
Name
true.
one movie
That's
of
true.
his that you sat through and were like, wow, this is
No,
too
you're
long.
right about
No, I'll
that.
give you that.
That being said, it's nice to
Movies
go
in
into
general,
a
I
movie
just
and-
don't need them 2 hours
It
plus.
depends. Some movies I think can be too short.
Can we agree that the movie's dead and we could just have extended series now? Or limited series type of
No, movies are not
No.
dead.
No, not dead, but come on.
No.
Some things are movies that should be series.
Some things, but
Something.
they're-
It depends on the topic and what you're doing.
That's fair.
Because certain things I think you need more time to really
I
portray
think
it
a
well.
lot of the things I see, I'd like to see more
Of it.
of it.
Yeah. I hear you.
A lot of times they do these limited series. I'm like, all right, well, you could have wrapped that up 3 episodes.
There's like a
You know what?
fine
That is
line.
true too.
So
There's
it's
a
like-
fine line with it.
It's like
Some
you
of it
can't have a
is too
10-part
much.
series, but you can't also have a 2-hour movie either. It's like you need those like 4 or 5-part
Well,
series
that's the
that
thing.
are
It's
excellent.
like, yeah, even those are great because sometimes, like, what name like a long ass movie that could have been a series?
Could have been a series.
Yeah.
Jeez,
I
that's
can't, that's a
feel
tough way
like-
to do it. The Godfather, but that's a great movie.
That is a great movie.
That's 3
But that is
movies
the
that
same
are.
movie.
But that's what I'm saying.
That has, yeah, I guess.
Did any of you guys ever see The Godfather where they, I forget what it's called, but they redid it, and they have the whole Godfather in chronological order.
Oh, really?
I forget what it's called. So, but like even the flashbacks throughout the movies, it literally starts and it goes right through, all the movies are in it, but they do it in chronological order.
So it's one
I haven't heard
long
of that.
piece.
One long piece of a chronologically made, like it's not all the flashbacks, like it's literally made in chronological
flashbacks
order.
first, kind of. And
Yeah, basically, that's what I heard. I didn't
I'll
see
tell you
it.
though, I have a problem
haven't
with
heard of
old
that.
movies. I have a problem with the way it looks. It's just it looks so old.
But some of that's cool.
Eh,
Quentin Tarantino, perfect example, Hateful Eight. When you watch that movie, that
That's
movie.
different, though.
Well,
But
he
wha-
shot that on 8
he shot.
millimeter.
But what I'm saying is, it looks old and it looks awesome.
Well, that's
right,
great
but it
style
looks
for a
old.
lot of movies.
But when it's actually old,
I guess
I
you're
have
right.
a
Some things
problem
don't
with it.
age well.
yeah.
All right, like. Okay, I mean, I get what you're
Yeah,
saying. It's
some things
hard to
don't
really
age well.
look at an old movie and be like, oh, this
You
is
have
just
to
as good
look
as
at it
film out.
knowing like this is what they had then.
Yeah, but it's not
Yeah.
like you watch Platoon and you're like, oh, this sucks because it was in the end of the 70s. Or
Yeah,
the
I have a problem with it.
Really?
I have a problem with
Well, okay, so
looking
this
at
kind
it.
of brings
I
me
just
to
it takes
something
me out.
that I wanted to ask B about when he said he saw Toy Story 4.
Yes.
How do you guys feel about them revamping a lot of these movies?
It depends.
I heard Lion King.
I'm not a. At first thought, I
Fantastic.
am not a big fan of revamping.
Okay.
At first thought,
Yeah,
Aladdin, I thought was going to be terrible. I'm hearing that it's amazing. the
I
reboot.
heard Aladdin is really good.
I haven't
but
seen
I
it yet.
heard Lion King fucking.
I heard The Lion King wasn't good, but then I
Yeah.
also heard that it was good.
I heard
Oh, I
Dumbo was
didn't hear that
terrible.
it was-
I heard. I didn't hear terrible things about it.
I mean, these are weird
mean,
remakes that we're talking about, but like, think about the horrors that have been remade. I personally have not seen many remakes that were that good. It was great though. So some of them,
It was great.
It really
Yeah.
depends on. And the second part, it's coming out now. I think next year
never
it comes
seen
out.
it. I
Do you never saw the original?
Scary movies, I don't care for.
Can I tell you something though? And I have this debate with people about the new It because the new one was so good. I said the new one was so good that it makes me watch the older one that I've been, it gives you, it scares you, and it's been like the classic horror movie
Yeah.
forever. And you watch it again now at this age, and it's a made-for-TV movie with TV actors. It's not like the big name actors. It wasn't really gory. It wasn't that scary when you rewatch it. Now, when you think about it, like with nostalgia, you're like, yeah, this was the tits. The new It blew it away.
Was it?
I
never saw
personally
the
thought,
original.
as far as a
I don't
remake
like
is concerned,
scary movies.
and that's fun. One of my Steve on Catchmall, one of our fans of the show and guest, he's not big on scary movies. I get it, to each his own. But it just as far as a basic remake, I thought it was significantly better than the original.
All right.
But
Yeah,
now
I
it's also
agree
a
with
motion picture, and it's
that. Well,
it was a lot more
ridiculous budget.
Yeah, and it was made well though. Some of these other, like the new Rambos and all that, like I did not like them. The new Die Hard, the
You know
last
what?
Die Hard was not good.
The last few Die Hards.
The first 3 were excellent.
The first 3.
Yeah, I like the
Die
first
Hard
3.
with a Vengeance.
Die Hard with the, I'm sorry,
might
4.
Be, that might be. With a Vengeance was 3.
Yeah, so they're the
Yeah.
first 3. Okay.
Might be one of my favorite movies of all time.
But like, yeah, they're just hit or miss. Some of the remakes are great, and some of them are terrible.
You have so much passion towards film.
I love film.
Why didn't you get into film?
Because I didn't
It's not
have
too
this
late,
passion until later in my life.
Not too late.
Like, I loved movies when I was younger. I was more of a music guy, which I still am. But now I'll spend more of my time watching movies as opposed to listening to
Like,
music.
you light up when you talk about film.
I love it. I love recommending things to people. I stopped by my buddy's house the other day just to drop something off, and they got into talking about film. I wound up staying there for
What'd you
15
drop
minutes. Doesn't matter. I started...
No, chick.
It's irrelevant. It's irrelevant. And I wound up talking about, like, just picks, my picks of people
my
asking me.
God.
And, like,
Wait, you're just
these
giving people
poor-
your.
well, no,
picks.
they were asking me, and they're like, he watches everything, and this guy's like, oh, what do you watch? So we started going into it,
So
and I
he
love
introduces
it. I
his
love
segment.
talking.
He's like, and now it's time.
And I told
for
him,
chicks.
can I tell you, I said, if you want more of my picks, I said I run a podcast and I give
my
out 3 every
God.
week. I was joking, but I was serious. Because Because I don't know the guy. I'm like, if you really want my picks, listen to my show.
If you really want my way.
If you really want my
You guys
picks.
want my picks.
Oh man.
But no, I
great.
love film, but here's the thing: you can't just get into film and then do what you want.
What do you mean?
You kind of.
Because it's not the industry. I mean, yeah, you could get a job doing you know what I'm saying.
No,
Just
I
to,
think you
Yeah, but
kind of-
I don't have a desire to work on anything that has to do with the movie.
No,
If I did it,
you said this wrong. You don't have a desire to work on anything.
Yeah, I think that's where you should have stopped.
That's where it ends. If you have a passion for something, you could try in a small way to get involved somewhere.
Yes.
Or you just like to watch stuff. You like to sit on your
I would
ass.
want to be more of like a critic than involved in making it.
But that's something you can do too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I am my own critic
You're
now,
your
and
own
I'm just
critic,
hoping people start listening.
Why don't you write like a newsletter, a blog or something?
A vlog.
You could post it on the website.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I will start it.
Yeah.
Not on our website. Somebody else. No, I'm kidding.
B writes something on Instagram today, and I commented, but I was on the Adult Baby's Instagram.
Uh-huh.
But I just commented on something he did, and he's like, "Oh, we got to ban you from the account already." I've been very good, have I not?
Oh, you've been great. Those.
What have I done,
We'll talk
B?
about it off air.
Nothing.
Those messages you sent to that.
I
one
sent
guy that
one
we're trying
message
get.
to Tommy, Big Tommy,
Big
Big
Time
Time
Tommy.
Tommy,
You
Those were,
spelled his name wrong.
and I spelled his name wrong,
They were
and
terrible.
it was just a basic
left
hello,
something to
how
be
you
desired.
are, I'm a fan, would
Yeah,
you
but
want to
if you're
come
doing
on?
a basic hello, please come on our show. Don't spell his name wrong.
Yeah, it is
bro.
what it is, but I don't think that had anything to do with it because he never even read it.
No, he did.
No, he didn't.
And that wasn't because of what I wrote, because he just didn't even acknowledge. He probably gets so many of those.
Oh, but
Probably.
I do know a guy who knows him, so I'm gonna try to get that.
Nice.
Oh,
Gonna
look
get
it
Big
up.
Time Tommy
He's a
on?
Massapequa guy.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't know.
Yeah, I don't know how
Yeah.
much I'm going to be a fan of him. You're one of the few people from Massapequa I like.
Hey.
Because you're nothing like the stereotypical Massapequa guy.
No,
Yeah, Massapequa.
probably not.
Were you... Were
I love
you
Massapequa.
a tip, like when you were growing up, were you different than most of the kids you hung
Oh,
out
for
with?
sure. And,
Yeah, I can...
and I also moved to Massapequa in 5th grade.
Okay, so
So,
you were the new kid
I
too.
didn't, yeah, I didn't have like an established friends group
Okay.
going into middle school. And then,
That had to be rough.
It was weird.
Especially with those
Yeah.
pricks
I
from
moved around a
Massapequa.
lot.
Yeah.
Like young, like in elementary school, I moved probably like
Within the state
four
or all
times.
over the place?
Within the state.
Okay.
Probably
Long
like
Island?
3 or 4. Yeah, like 3 or 4 times. Long Island.
Oh, all right.
But so going into middle school, I didn't really have like an established friend group. I just
Yeah.
had friends.
Yeah, you had like acquaintances and
That's
friends.
tough. That's tough going
Yeah.
to middle school like
It
that.
is. That's
It
what.
was
Yeah.
Because we all had like, lifelong friends at that point.
Well,
I
that's
was
the
your-
thing. Everyone had like a group.
Yeah. That's,
You know
by
what I
that
mean?
point, everybody's pretty much in your groups.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I wasn't like into the typical Massapequa stuff.
That's what I
Yeah,
can.
like
Not a
music
typical.
and
It's the only reason why I can tolerate you.
yeah. Oh, thanks, buddy.
I that's one town that I really cannot care for.
What is it about Massapequa that...
They're a bunch of arrogant fucking. They
is
give
it
the
football
Italians.
rivalry, I think.
Heck, you can't. I mean, yeah, the sports rivalry's
I think
fun
that's
and it
what
fuels the
Farmingdale.
fire.
Yeah.
destroys
But,
the
like-
sports, but...
Yeah,
Right.
we pretty much own
I
them in
know.
everything except baseball.
I'm not sure.
Football, we probably go hit them, but we're probably legitimately better in football and lacrosse year in and year out. Where they're
it's funny-
significantly better baseball and probably soccer team.
The way you describe what you don't like about Massapequa is probably how most people would describe you. Right?
Yeah, well, that's how anyone
give
from
it-
Massapequa would describe farming.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're like a bunch
It's like
of.
the typical, you know.
They're just
It's
like
a
in my thing. They're just a bunch of meatheads. Half of them are on, half if not all, probably on steroids. They're a bunch of racist Italians. They give
There's
us a
lot
bad
of that.
name.
I
They
didn't-
give my fellow Italians and just a bad name.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
through high school I really resented Massapequa in a lot
Yeah.
of ways because it was
Did you?
like it was very what chicks describe.
Yeah,
Wow.
it was. It is what it is. What it
But
is. I'm
that
not
being
saying
said,
Farmingdale's
I-
any better.
I made a lot of friends and.
Well,
and
yeah, you
it-
find
it
people
ended
that you
up
like
being cool,
everywhere.
but,
It's like anything. I
it
can't
is
say
a
the
lot
whole
of-
town sucks.
it's a lot of like.
It's a nicer town.
Like I don't know about that because since
Well,
I started
Farmingdale
hanging out
now
here
is
with
getting
Pete,
nicer.
Like your main street's a lot nicer than our main street.
That's very new, though.
Yeah.
Right? That's
Oh,
relatively
yeah, that's in
new,
the
I
last
would
10
say.
years.
Okay.
That was a dump for a while.
Oh, wasn't it?
And
Yeah, but you're right though. It is.
That's
a
in the
lot
last
of,
10 years.
Yeah.
very Italian.
they just give us a bad
Yeah.
name. They're a bunch of, racist pricks.
Yeah.
You know.
And I just don't, they're arrogant. Maybe Farmingdale guys are the same way.
I'm
But you don't
looking
see
at
you
it.
don't see yourself
You're
like
the
that as
arrogant
much.
guy.
Look at one of the most
I know.
arrogant
Yeah, I'm
people I've
so
ever met.
arrogant.
You are, in a way.
I'm not arrogant.
Check.
Arrogant?
Arrogant.
I'm obnoxious.
All right. Yeah, I guess you're right. Maybe you're
You know
more
what I mean?
obnoxious.
stir the pot. I'm obnoxious.
Stir the pot.
I
Somebody
don't.
must have told
Can we
you
get
that
him a
you
stir the pot
at a
t-shirt?
young age, and you just stuck with that phrase. Well, yeah, that's me. I stir the pot.
I think there's a lot of things I may be. I'm no saint, but arrogance is not one of them. I don't walk around thinking my shit don't.
No, you're right. You're right. I take that back.
If anything, I'm more self-deprecating than anything.
A little too self-deprecating.
Apparently, yes.
Yeah. Now, I have a question for you. Another question. See how you guys would handle this. During the weekends, I'm left at my house alone.
Is that scary for you?
Mm-hmm.
Do you have to get your weighted blanket?
I'm not good, like, alone. I don't like...
Oh, wait, that's a serious... You were serious about that?
Yeah.
You don't like being... Like, you scared home
A little bit.
as a 35-year-old man in the nicest part of Farmingdale.
A little scared, yeah.
Well, his house is big, so you never know who's hiding around the corner.
I guess.
So...
You're probably in the safest part of the Dale.
Yeah, but... maybe. But it just kind of freaks me out. I don't like...
Alright,
this.
hey.
It's kind of dark. So
you're scared of the dark when we really dig into this.
I don't like the dark, yeah. I sleep with a... I don't want to say a night light, but like...
Is it a light on at night?
A light.
Well,
So it's a nightlight.
Yeah.
You still sleep with a nightlight.
I don't like the dark.
And this is a serious thing.
Yeah. Yeah, it's serious.
Mom, can you leave the door cracked a little bit?
So my parents are
where's
away.
my warm milk?
This is just another thing that happened to me this weekend that reiterates the fact that I don't know if I could handle, like, owning a house. If I ever to be in a position to own a house, I don't think I could handle it.
You're running out of time on that.
So, no, I'm not running out of time. There's plenty of time.
There's plenty of time.
So, Friday night, I get to bed. I'd say around 1:30 in the morning, I was in a deep sleep. A REM sleep, if you will.
I've never been in a REM sleep in like
You
20
have.
years.
No, not smoking pot. He probably hasn't.
I have sleep apnea. I promise you, it's not a joke. I haven't hit a REM sleep in years.
Oh, man. Well, it shows.
Yeah, that shit'll keep you out of it for sure.
Well, it's not the pot.
Pot will keep you out of REM sleep.
Let's not get into that on air.
So-
We'll talk about that off the air.
So, you know when you just get to... I, like, just went to bed. I probably went to bed around midnight. So 1:30, I was deep in it, right? I wake up, and I'm thinking I'm in a dream, and I'm hearing smoke alarm go off.
You thought it was carbon monoxide and you were freaking out.
That's exactly what I thought.
I knew
Really?
it. I just knew, like, I could tell where he was going with that because a regular smoke alarm wouldn't freak him out that much.
Yes,
But when you're a
first of all-
paranoid kid
yeah,
and you think it's carbon monoxide, something you can't smell, something you can't see, it's going to freak you out.
Well, first of all,
I've been there with that.
the smoke alarm to
I've
begin
never
with...
had that. That's
The
crazy.
smoke alarm to begin with freaked me out because when a smoke alarm is going off in the house and you're all alone in this house at 1:30 in the morning,
Is it a smoke alarm or is it the carbon monoxide
it
alarm?
was the smoke alarm.
Okay.
But I woke up in the middle of a sleep and I looked. First, I was like, what is that? And I looked outside. I'm like, is that a truck backing up? Because I was like still asleep. And then I ran downstairs.
It's the robbers taking their time to get into your house.
All right. And I ran downstairs.
They're making tea first.
And I'm like, what is that? What is that noise? And I'm looking around,
Wait,
and
are
then
you saying that out loud though?
no, but my face said
Oh.
it. If you'd have seen me, I was like, what? You know, like one of those faces. And right away, you're right. I went to it's the carbon monoxide, and I started getting dizzy. I ran outside, like out of breath, like
Because you didn't want to be in the house with the carbon monoxide.
yes.
Oh, okay.
And I just started.
I wish
freaking-
you would have. Can you call me next time you have these issues?
Dude, well, I wanted to call anybody. It was 1:30 in the morning.
I'm up every night till 3, 4 in the morning probably.
Yeah.
Even on a work night, I'm up to 1, 2 o'clock. Please call me next time. I
Well,
would
next time I
love
would.
to be at the other end of this conversation. Can I tell you why I won't make fun of you so much for this?
Right.
I don't care what anybody says. When your carbon monoxide alarm beeps, most of the time it's always because it needs a reset or a new
Yeah.
battery, and that's why.
See, so my
It's
carbon
going on.
monoxide and my smoke alarm are the same thing.
Most are.
Yeah.
But now that some people have smoke alarm, and then like you have the one that goes on the wall, that's the carbon monoxide. The carbon monoxide, when you actually have carbon monoxide, it's
It's
gonna.
a colorless, odorless gas.
No,
but
it's- yeah, it
but
is
what,
the
there's
same
a
thing.
different beep. I've learned this because when I was younger, I used to freak out about this shit too because I was obsessive about everything. That's why I knew right away what you were getting into. When it beeps sporadically, just here and there, it's because it needs either a reset
It
or a
wasn't a
new
sporadic
battery.
beep.
No, I know. But yours was a smoke alarm, wasn't even the carbon monoxide.
Right. But
It wouldn't have went off a carbon
But-
monoxide to smoke alarm. Unless it's a carbon
I
monoxide.
understand that. Well, once I realized it was a smoke alarm, even then I'm freaking out.
Well, now
Like,
you think there's a fire.
I'm
or
like,
something.
why is this smoke alarm going off at 1:30 in the morning when I'm by myself? You know?
Oh, it's only supposed to go out when people are there.
Of
Well,
course,
It'd
exactly.
be better if my mom and dad were there.
So, what happens is it beeps intermittently
Yeah,
when
yeah,
it's
no,
when it's
my
just
smoke
yeah
alarm
when it's actually
drives
carbon
that.
monoxide. That thing will be like like
Get the
beeping
fuck
like
out.
crazy, like wake up. Get
Well,
the fuck out.
mine was not doing the beep every. It was beep
Again.
beep beep
Beep
beep.
beep. That's a smoke alarm though.
Okay, I didn't know you were king of the alarms.
Well, because I've had
You know
this-
every-
He sold them.
he knows
No,
every alarm.
Because one, I have worked for Sloman's. I've
That's
worked for
true.
so many places. But no, the only reason why I know is because I've had that issue before.
Okay.
I mean, I'm
and
not
you've been
scared.
alone and do it and deal with
Yeah, I
it.
mean the other day it went off when when my parents were away and I had
What
the
time?
house.
What time?
It was in the middle of the night.
Why is it
That
always
doesn't
in the middle of the
freak
night?
you out.
No, it doesn't because I know what it is now.
But why does it go off? Why did it go off in my house?
All I did was switch the battery, like an adult.
Mine wasn't
Fix
the
the
battery.
problem.
Mine wasn't the battery. I had a first of all.
Well, either way, I had to go take it out. I tried to reset. It was still doing it. I was like, it's probably a battery. I switched the battery. I had no issues.
I had to pull a chair out of another room, and get up on this chair, and pull it down.
Yeah, like that's how you get onto your ceiling.
It was quite a thing for me. This is a thing. This is a lot.
Can I tell you one thing I've learned about
Please.
myself? As much of a disaster as I am, and I wouldn't want. If I was to buy my own thing, I would only, at this point in my life, because I don't have a family and I don't have a ton of money, I would want like an apartment or
When
something
you say a
small
ton,
to take
you
care
mean
of.
to say you have none.
Like, I don't need a house. What?
When you say you don't have a ton of money, you mean to say you don't have any money.
Yeah, I'm nowhere near a house.
Yeah.
But my whole thing was, even if I had it, at this point in my life, being a single man with no family, kids, I wouldn't want a big house.
Right.
But
Me
one thing
neither.
I've learned about myself is when I'm forced to have to take care of the house, when I'm the only one here for an extended period of time, I'm very capable.
There are a lot of
I just
hate.
realized I don't want to.
Yeah,
I don't like it.
Like, I'm not a guy who enjoys doing the chores around the house.
I agree.
I'm not
I can
good
get
for
them
stuff.
done. I can do it. I'm intelligent enough to know if something needs fixing or whatever. I'm not saying I'm handy enough to fix it, but I can tell you when it's going to go wrong. I would just never want to. And I see my friends who are always doing shit in their
There's some
lawns.
dudes
I'm
that
like,
love
God.
that
I have
shit,
no-
man.
yeah.
I don't get it.
Yeah, I
People
don't get
love
it either.
man.
I know some people who hate it. I know some who
seems
love it.
Miserable to me.
It does. My
I don't
buddy,
do any of that shit.
my buddy was
Hire
out on his
someone.
lawn on his hands and knees
There's
picking
people
out
actually
weeds.
that have pride.
Fucking
What?
What?
But my
Get out of here.
so
Start
to
a
your point, though,
podcast.
Yeah.
I don't understand why you, when you're by yourself, though, you like.
Dude, it just freaked me out.
I
Alright.
don't.
And
have
it
that
reminded me-
Yeah, that's one thing I don't have.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
not saying that I'm Mr. Independent. I'm obviously not, but I could if I needed to. I just don't have
I
any
enjoy
money.
it when no one's
I'm
It's so
okay.
rare that nobody's.
No,
home.
no.
Oh,
No,
my
no.
house is so often now that I've learned to take care of the house because I have no
love
choice.
Every second of it, man.
I do enjoy it. I do enjoy it, but I don't. I enjoy being alone and not having people there. I just don't like dealing when something comes up that like that.
You
Especially
need
in
to
the
know
middle
it's
of the
going to
night.
come up.
Yeah, I need to know.
Nothing unplanned is going to screw with you.
No, and it reminded me when I was in college. For those that don't know, I went to college in Oneonta, but I never went to college in Oneonta. Did I ever talk about this on the podcast?
Yeah, I think we
you
mentioned
mentioned
it.
it.
Yeah.
So like I lived there, and there was a time where I lived with a couple of guys.
Yeah, I know.
So one night I came home and Oneonta's freezing. You know, it's so cold at
Yeah,
night.
Upstate New York, yeah.
Yeah. So I had the downstairs room, and it was so cold that the pipes froze
Yeah.
and they bursted. So like,
See, I wouldn't know how to deal with that.
You shut the
course.
water off first.
but in a house I was like renting with some guys
Well, that you
barely
have to
knew.
call them and you have to call the owner and but you have to shut the water
but
off so it's
this
not
happened
bleeding.
at 2 in the
Wouldn't know how to
morning.
do that.
There's usually a main. That's what I'm saying. I'm not an
Yeah.
idiot. I'm
I
capable.
wouldn't know
I
how to
just
do
have
that.
zero desire to do it.
I'd
nor
call
I'm
someone.
lazy. I don't want to do it.
Yeah.
This happened at 2 in the morning though.
Nothing
And
happens
It
at
was
a reason.
shooting out.
Yeah.
It was shooting out. Water shooting out. Now I have to go upstairs to the other kid that lives with me and like tap him on his shoulder and be like, hey, the pipes are busted downstairs. I don't know what to do. And I'm like, I've never been the man of the house.
Listen, I understand. I'm not saying I'm a handyman. Don't let listeners don't get it twisted.
No, we're not getting it.
Yeah,
twisted.
I just know like I'm not retarded. I just feel like you got to figure out where the water and shut the water off. But there's also like with your pipes.
But when you don't know
if you
where it
think
is.
they might thaw, if you know your pipes freeze, obviously you guys didn't. We do it in my house. The one pipes that freeze and you can't do laundry and stuff. Whenever we know it's gonna be freezing or get that cold, we put a heater over there to keep the pipes warm.
Oh, so
cool.
you have a pipe that gets frozen?
Or behind our laundry room, behind our washer and dryer, those pipes tend to get very cold in extreme cold weather. So it doesn't happen often, but occasionally when we know it might freeze, we'll put the space heater on it just to keep them warm.
All right.
Keep them pipes warm.
Gotta keep them pipes hot.
But for the most case, if you don't know your pipe's frozen,
Guys,
there's really nothing you
Pipe
can do until you have to shut the water off. That's the only way to do it. And that doesn't fix the problem. It just makes
And you're
it
welcome
easier
from
to
the
fix
home care tips.
it. Yeah, look at me. I'm all over the place today.
Yeah, you really are. Well, maybe you can help me with this.
It's all
I've been
home
I've been busy for since last Monday. Yeah, maybe it was last Monday. I've been making my own sourdough bread starter.
How's that going?
One, how is it taking you a week? Is it supposed to take that long?
Yeah. So what I'm doing right now is I'm making a starter. A starter is a living thing. Okay? It's you have to feed it. I'm at the point where I'm feeding it twice a day.
Okay.
So a sourdough bread it's like a fermentation bread, you know? It's sort of like alcohol. Like you know, and it's difficult. I got to be honest. It's really difficult. It's a lot of. I have to feed it twice a day.
This was a terrible idea from the beginning.
No, it wasn't. It's
Who
a
wants
great
It's a hobby. I would
To
do
what?
that.
To cook sourdough?
Yes.
One, I hate sourdough.
You hate
Why
sourdough
would you hate
bread?
sourdough
What?
bread?
Yeah, I'm not a big fan
It's
of
like the
sourdough
best kind of bread.
It's like the worst kind of. The best kind of bread's Italian bread or prosciutto bread.
Prosciutto bread.
Yeah, with the Italian meats in the bread. It's the best bread
First
you'll
of all,
ever
we don't
get.
need a bread with meats inside of it.
It's anybody who's listening knows what prosciutto
I'm
bread
team
is. They're
sourdough
agreeing with me.
or rye.
Oh, you are a sourdough or rye guy.
I agree with you.
I'm not. There's not. I don't
What does that
know.
even mean?
He was. I like myself a good piece of Italian bread.
Right.
Okay.
But you don't like a little sourdough
No,
bread
I'd
sliced
rather-
with some butter, maybe?
No, you know what's even better? Italian bread sliced with some
Kerrygold,
butter.
No, but it's different.
No, you can't. You're not gonna
Church
change
just
my
likes
mind
white
on
bread.
this.
That's what
Yeah.
No, it's not white bread. It's Italian bread.
Sourdough bread, you really have to make it. Like, there's a lot that goes into
Well,
it.
And that's the other reason why I don't like it.
taste.
Why don't you like
Because
what?
it just seems way too much of a process
You're
to
not
make.
making it.
I know.
You're not making. I'm making. So here's my thing, though. Like I said, I'm gonna.
I'm just thinking about what the baker has to do.
Yeah.
And I'm tired, and I can't be tired when I'm eating bread.
It's a lot. It's a process.
And you can't dip sourdough bread
Oh, you can.
in
Yes,
sauce.
yes you
Yes.
can.
What?
It's not the same as Italian.
Oh, you're such a cheap. Okay.
Cheap?
Italian.
You
bread.
think it's because it's cheap? No, it's because it's better.
No, it's just.
It's like.
No, he said cheap. I'm not
Like,
saying
I
you.
mean a little. It's
No. There's only one way
You're like the
cheap.
kind of guy that just, I'll have what's there.
It's very.
No,
I'll
I'm like,
just-
do you
I'll have
do you
what's
have
there.
Italian
It's very
bread?
Massapequa. That's what.
That is, you know what? That's very Massapequa.
That's Brooklyn in me.
Yeah. It's a little low class. So.
You can.
Yeah, I don't know. This thing.
Just
Yeah, the
tight-
mic doesn't
tighten
even
it,
want to
please.
listen to your bullshit anymore.
Just
It's
tighten it.
moving away.
No, Chris made me do it myself, and now I don't know how to.
That's another thing we know B can't do by himself.
Apparently.
Oh,
There's a
righty
couple
tighty.
things that
Tighten
I'm
it.
mind-boggled about you tonight.
What?
Is one, I can't
Okay,
even.
that's good. That's good.
One that you need sleep with a nightlight,
Uh-huh.
and that you're scared.
That's not the most surprising
And a night
thing. He's
walk.
got
That
a
is
weighted
a
blanket.
surprising. A weighted blanket makes more sense to me than a 35-year-old using a nightlight. Come on, Chris.
Yeah, okay, but I feel like they go hand in hand a little bit.
I have anxiety issues. I get the weighted blanket. I don't get the nightlight.
But what if the dark is his anxiety?
The dark isn't my anxiety, but I don't like the dark. I'm not in love
What
with it.
scares you about the? Because I'm thinking about when I was a child and you have these issues, and I'm trying to get in B's head, and all
I
I
would
can
say-
think about is when I was a
I
child.
like pitch blackness.
Yeah,
Good.
I want it as dark as
In fact,
possible.
if I see a light, it's hard for me to ignore it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
Like my cable box light, I have to cover it with a little thing before I get it.
Really?
Yeah, I don't like
I would.
it.
All right.
Well, that's because you guys are very dull to begin with.
Why do you call it dull?
I don't know. I love that word.
I love
love calling
it.
people dull.
Because he's so exciting, just bursting with personality over
yeah,
there.
I agree. No, you know what? The dark is just a little.
We'll get back
It's
to
the
the dark.
unknown.
It's known
But
what's in the
it's-
dark.
it's the
Everything
same
that's
room.
there before you shut the lights off.
Well, I don't know.
I'm sorry, I cut you off with your sourdough.
It's a lot to deal with. It's feeding it twice a day. So
When you say feeding it, can you go over the process? I
Yeah.
need to know what the steps are.
So basically, I had to find a specific type of flour. I had to find a whole wheat flour, a rye flour, and then it's pretty easy. You mix.
Oh, it's easy now.
No. Making it is easy, but maintaining it, it's alive. So you have to keep it alive.
Maybe I don't know what sourdough is. What's
Well,
alive?
I'm not baking the bread right now. Right now, what I'm making is a yeast.
He's making it's like a living bacteria, basically.
Yeah.
But
I'm making my own yeast.
for what?
Like you take some of the yeast, right, and you.
I don't know how to make bread.
Well,
So I'm sorry.
I'll tell you.
Excuse me
Yeah,
if
let me
I'm
explain
completely
the
clueless and
process.
retarded right now.
I'll tell you what's going on here. So, I want to. You know when people go to a party and maybe they bring a bottle of wine?
You want to bring a dessert or a snack.
Not a snack, a loaf of hot bread right out of the oven. Tell me how fantastic.
Bam!
Tell me how fantastic that sounds.
I think that the idea sounds a lot better than the people who are going to be receiving the gift.
You know what though?
understand-
It's appreciative. I'm not saying
having
people.
a house party and everyone brings a bottle of wine. Someone shows up with bread.
Like, wow, this guy showed up
It's different.
I just feel
with
like
homemade bread.
It's different.
That, to me, that's class. Okay?
nothing about you says class. Even if you come in there with the best sourdough bread ever, it's not classy. It's just a nice gesture.
It's not. It's more than a nice gesture because I didn't go to the local liquor store and now.
So now you're shitting on people who go and just spend money to get something because you put 15 hours or whatever
not-
it is.
Let me
No.
ask you guys something. You ever do this? You ever go to a bakery and get baked goods and then put it on your own plate?
Of course.
No.
I mean, I've
I
never.
don't bring a lot of stuff.
I've
when
never
I'm
done
going.
this.
I just come empty-handed.
I've never
Show
done
up
that
in a hoodie
personally,
type
but
Check, this is a black tie event.
he shows up
This
with a
is
sun
my-
kiss for himself.
Yeah, I'm the one who comes in for a drink because I know they're not going to give me what I want in pot for everybody, and that's my gift. And laughs.
I just love the idea of showing up to a place and bringing homemade bread. Who am I? Somebody's grandmother? I love it. I
So
think
you're
it's
doing
great.
it for the joke, to be a joke.
No, it's not a joke.
No,
No, I think I love it. I love the idea of that. I love the idea of going. Now I have to get invited to a
people
party.
talking like, wait, this guy. Hold on.
Yeah.
Wait a second.
Wait a
You think that it's
So
wine coming?
he
in
loves the
bag.
idea that everybody's going to have to
Hold on.
lie the rest
Yeah.
of the party and tell him how good it is.
No. I understand that once I do go to a party, the first party I go to, I'm pretty sure I'll bring my bread there. I'll bring it down and I'm sure 90% of the bread will go uneaten. It'll be thrown away.
Yeah,
I
Here's the
understand.
thing. I don't know if I want a bearded dude making my bread.
Why is that?
I don't know.
One, I don't know if
It's
I
just
want you
like a
making anything
presence.
that I'm eating, but that's besides the point.
That's like the
First of all,
like you ever have a guy bake something and then put it out at a party?
I actually, enough of my friends are like ridiculous cooks and
Really?
barbecue
You don't have any of
dudes.
that yet?
Yeah, so I can't say. I'd
guys
rather
that look
some-
like me cook the bread.
I was gonna say I'd rather some of my
You
male
look
friends
like-
cook than
you-
some of their wives.
If you put on a chef hat, you could be a chef, but I feel like, at least with my friends, maybe it's just an age thing.
It is
If
probably.
like my friends were to bake something, I'm not eating.
Baking's also most of my friends who
Maybe.
cook and barbecue and marinate
Yeah.
and things like that. He is baking, but do you
But
expect
why not be
anybody anything
different?
less from
No,
him?
that's true. You look like you bake.
I don't know, man. I love it. So, but it is a hassle. So,
I don't want to hear you take on a passion and a hobby and then complain about it, saying it's a hassle, because it's something you choose to
Is
do.
that part of the fun of the hobby, though?
well, I'm not really
complain about
complaining
it?
about it.
Just like their struggle, like there has to be some sort of.
I don't mind him struggling doing
Yeah.
it, learning his craft. What I do complain, what I want to complain about is if you choose to do something, don't say it's a hassle. That's to me the wrong word, because now you're complaining about
Right,
a hobby
well,
that you're partaking.
But there are hassles.
Okay.
Like I chose to do this podcast with you, but you're a hassle. But it's part of the process. It's what we deal with. It doesn't mean we have a good. We don't have a good product. You're a hassle, but we have a good product. At the end of
Touche.
the day.
I can't even argue with you. Good point.
So this thing, I'm going through the directions, and I have to help. My mom has to help me through half of it because most of these people are they're like from England. That every recipe I find is
That's a
from
very
England.
British thing, right?
It is very
Baking
British.
Bread.
So take out a scant of flour, I'm like, what's a scant? So like I'm trying to find out what a scant is, and then it switches the whole recipe at day 6. Like it goes, now you're gonna discard half the. I'm throwing out dough every night. I'm like taking dough out and putting more dough in. I'm up to my knees in dough. I'm just kneading dough twice a day. I feed it and it bubbles. It's fermenting. So I'm about 2 days away, maybe towards the end of the week, with how my week is going.
I can't wait to try
Where
it.
I'm gonna
Please bring some to the show. That'd be great.
So hopefully by next week I'll have.
Now let me ask
bread.
you a question.
Yeah.
So from now going forward, once you make this yeast,
Okay,
and
good
stuff,
question. Yes.
How do you know what my question's gonna be?
Because ask me the question.
How often are you gonna have to make this? Dude, like every time you want to make bread, it's this whole process over and over.
So when you make a bread, there's a yeast. You need yeast to make bread,
Yes.
right? So what I'm making right now is the yeast.
Okay.
Okay. So,
How much yeast do you need to make one loaf of bread?
well, it rises every day. So I have not a lot. I could take some of the yeast out.
How long will this yeast last you?
Well, some bakeries have it's called a starter that is 100 years old, and it's the same starter. And they take it out. Like there's great bakeries that have 100-year-old starters, and it's basically a yeast that was started 100 years ago, and they take it out and then they continue growing it by adding flour and water, and it continues to grow. It's a whole process, man.
This is absurd that you're doing this. Now, where do you store
At
the
least
yeast?
I'm doing something.
I'm not
right?
knocking that. Where do you store this yeast?
Right in the refrigerator. I have.
So your parents are gonna
No,
have to
it's
keep
not-
this fucking yeast in their fridge?
I say, listen, I'm not moving out, and neither is my yeast. We're both staying here.
Your parents, see, when I stay here, I stay to my part of the room, the house, and then I come out here in the backyard.
How much of the fridge is sun-kissed?
None.
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 Come on.
None.
It's all in your room.
I don't store it. I get it as needed.
Yeah, he doesn't store
That's
it.
even sadder somehow.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's a happy story.
My
but
mom
my
is.
point is,
My
I
mom
take-
is a lot like me though. So we made cucumbers this summer in the garden in the back, and we have these huge cucumbers. Now my mom's taking a mandolin and making pickles, and they're unbelievable. My mom is on her third batch of pickles and onions. She's pickling onions and
that sounds
cucumbers.
good.
Dude, it is so good.
I get it. Listen, I get it.
So we got a little.
I just think it's because I don't use, I would never be once I put in an edible in the fridge, and I told my mother not to stay away from it. And I felt bad that I had a little Oreo cookie just sitting in there forever.
What does your mom think when you're like, there's an Oreo cookie
Don't
in
touch
there?
that
You
Oreo.
can't touch that. Does she know what it is?
Yeah, I tell her. I don't want them eating it, God forbid.
That'd be hilarious.
It would be
would be
hilarious,
funny,
but they would
though,
probably fucking freak out.
Would they?
So, no, yeah, I try not to, I just try to stay away in that
Right.
regards. I have my room, and I just stay in that part of the house, and then I come out here to get high. I try not to.
I get that.
I try not to invade on everything else that's here.
I would go nuts if I just stayed in my room. I always
Yeah, I
have
can't do that.
I'm a
Well, I either go out, I'm in my room, or I'm out here.
Me personally, I have a wacky mind where
No.
where I have to always sort of be doing some weird, not weird,
Yeah,
but
I have to be out here smoking or watching TV. I'm not I can leave my room. I just don't want to invade in their space, so to speak, so much. Occasionally, they would probably, Game of Thrones we watch together,
Right.
and we'll sit down and have dinner together. But other than that, I really try to just kind of keep.
I think
to
my
myself.
mom is enjoying the sourdough process. Although
Your mother's embarrassed
she's not embarrassed. She's not embarrassed.
that her
She's
son
never-
with a beard is sitting home.
What? I don't really sure what a
making
beard has anything to
yeast.
do with it.
'Cause
I don't know,
usually
but
a
it
beard,
does.
I
It
put it
looks-
was tough
You
guys with
definitely
beards.
make sourdough.
Yeah, but I'm not. If
You
we
look
learned
like a
anything
piece of
about me in
sourdough.
67 episodes, is I'm not a tough guy. There's
I know,
nothing-
B.
But you just said a tough guy with a beard.
No,
The
see, I
beard's
feel
usually
No, I feel
fake.
like the opposite. I feel like he definitely drinks super craft beers
But I don't.
and makes sourdough bread. And
I do that.
Knowing B,
With
I'm
a
not
beanie
surprised that
inside
he's
type of
making.
thing.
Yeah, I'm not surprised that B's making
Yeah.
sourdough bread.
All right. Well, I just think how great is it going to be at the end of the? Now I fully expect this sourdough to be a disappointment.
See, that's the other thing is that you have zero confidence.
No.
So it's like if you're gonna do this and really try hard, at least say like I can't wait for you guys to taste
No.
my
Yeah, I'm
fucking
excited
bread.
to try
No,
it.
here's the thing that you don't understand
Oh, here we go.
is I like to work on stuff. I like to perfect something. You would give up on it right away if it's not perfect.
He gave up on the show, didn't he?
Exactly. I will work on my sourdough until it is good. And I don't expect it to be great the first time around.
Yeah.
It's just, that's the way it works. There's a learning
No,
process.
I do get that. I really do.
So, I don't know.
I just feel like you should have more confidence and want people like try my sourdough.
Be confident.
Well, I
in that
haven't
bread,
tried
Pete.
it.
Yeah, be
Get this
confident in
bread.
that goddamn.
I'm not even confident in the recipe because the recipe's a little confusing. So one
Yeah, I
time,
don't know what a scant is, but you
yeah,
definitely
like
messed
all
it
right,
up.
A scant.
take a scant out.
Don't they have American?
They do, and so you could press volumes, grams, and something else. So I do volume because that's the closest to American I can get. But it still tells me like take a scant out, and the directions read in a accent, and it's difficult.
That's kind of annoying.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's tough.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, just all right.
But once I get a perfect sourdough, that'll be like wow.
So, but you're also planning on taking this yeast with you for the rest of your life, wherever it
No,
goes.
this is his kit.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like this yeast
This
that you
yeast-
made is now. Well, what do I call it?
Yeah, that's what it is.
All right.
Yeasty.
Yeah, I thought
Bees yeast.
Bees yeast is now going to be like wherever you go. If you move, you're taking the yeast with you.
That yeast will be my legacy.
No, B's a bread guy now.
He's a bread guy.
Yeah, and I don't know if we have any breadheads that are listening, but if you have any,
B's breadheads.
if you have advice for me, please send it my way because I could use some. I'm in day 8, I believe. No, day 7 or 8.
How long does it take to make a yeast?
It could. Well, here's
Does
the.
it give you like a rule like it should take around 7 to 10
Well,
days?
here's the thing. The recipe I'm doing says it could take 5 days, but then they go it could take up to 2 weeks. You have to see how it's all.
Does the weather have anything to
The
do
weather
with
has
it?
everything to do with it.
So is New York a good climate?
But it's also my house has central air, so it's not like it's cooler in there.
So you don't want it cool. You want it.
You want it room
humid?
temperature, but like I'm getting bubbles. You want bubbles? I'm getting the bubbles every night.
But why do you put it in the fridge if it has to?
I
be
don't
room
put it in the fridge.
temperature?
I keep it room temperature. I put a little
So
plastic.
it sleeps with you at night.
I don't know. I don't
Do you
I don't
take
keep
the
it in my
yeast with
room.
you
No, it
upstairs?
stays in the kitchen. It
So
stays
now
in the kitchen.
that's the other thing. My mother's such a OCD with her kitchen that.
Yeah.
And my dad, like, if I left a yeast that
Yeah.
I was working on in the kitchen somewhere,
You guys don't touch my yeast.
that would be a problem. Not in
Well-
like a bad way, but they'd be like, "That's cool that you're doing this. I respect you. Get it the fuck out of my kitchen."
Well, my
Yeah.
parents my parents just redid their whole kitchen, and there's like chunks of yeast all over the place, and I got the vibe. My mom is a little disappointed that.
You're such a piece of shit.
No, I'm not. See, I don't know why you have to go right there. I'm cleaning up after. It's not like I'm throwing yeast everywhere, but there was some in the sink, and my mom was like, just watch out with that because you have to take a razor blade to get, because it
She
hardens
basically
up.
said, "You're about to ruin my
Okay,
sink.
yeah,
Can
yeah.
you please prevent that?"
No, it
makes
doesn't
sense.
ruin the sink.
Yeah, it does, because then you got to put something sharp to it, and then you scratch whatever material it is.
All right. When I, it's little dots of it. There's not a lot, but it's a lot of moving of the dough. It's a lot of. I have to use my own garbage can to.
Oh, at least you use your own garbage
Of course.
can.
Well, no, I have to throw it out right away because it'll attract flies. I'm assuming. Again, any breadheads out there that know more about bread than I do, please let me
Please
know.
right in.
That's what I've been working
Something tells
on.
me there's not a lot of people in our audience who
Not
are
a lot
big
of
bread
bread.
connoisseurs.
Maybe they are. You know what? Maybe they've been thinking about it and they're gonna get
Now
into bread.
that's probably more realistic than them already being
Maybe.
breadheads.
Now I want to get into another thing. Do you have anything to say?
Oh, I just think I like that segue.
This past weekend, our buddy Chris, we did a show together.
Oh, we did a show together. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It was your first time
It
on
was your
stage in
first time
a
on
long
stage
time.
in a
Did you get on stage? I didn't know that.
You
It
did?
did. It was fun.
It was a lot of fun.
What a
We
great
did-
show. Thanks for having me, Wonderland Phil and Brendan.
Wonderlandful. It was we did a show at a CBD place. You would have liked it, I think.
Probably.
They
It was
were
great. How much of that shit did you eat?
I had none of it.
Oh, I had a
A lot of people had. They were giving out free samples of CBD.
Yeah, but all it does is, what do they want their whole audience to be so relaxed?
I slept like a baby.
Did you?
I slept so well, and I went right out.
Yeah. No, you were eating the chocolates.
I was
Did
eating
you
the
have the
chocolates
tea?
and drinking the tea.
Oh yeah.
I slept great.
Did you feel it at all during the show?
I felt.
But all it does is we took the CBD
felt
here once. It just
very
really relaxes
relaxed.
you. Yeah.
You did feel relaxed. You
Felt
felt good on stage?
felt really good on stage.
You had a good
I
set?
think it was the CBD.
You had a good set?
It wasn't bad, right?
It wasn't bad. Yeah, I mean, it
wasn't. I mean,
It's your
for
first
a
time?
first one, yeah.
you definitely have to go on more.
I definitely ran out of stuff. But
You ran out of stuff?
yeah.
No, it was good to have you back on stage.
How was it
nice.
though? How was your first?
Yeah,
were you
what'd you
nervous?
feel
You have
like?
the cobwebs.
I was nervous until I got there. I was nervous about going up again because you're pretty exposed,
Yeah.
you know. And then when I got there,
And it was a
just like-
small
it
room,
was
too.
Very
How'd you
small.
feel you did?
rooms.
You know what? I think I did okay for the first one back in a while.
Did you feel like you felt okay coming off stage?
I felt good. I was glad that I did it, and I felt like I was able to get a gauge again for how to tell a joke or something. You know what I mean? Like how to deliver
you're gonna
something
get back
the
into
right
it
way.
now.
Yeah, definitely.
All right,
yeah,
good.
no, that's the plan is to get back into it. Because you lose. I don't know if you lose delivery, but you lose timing. You lose like.
I would say you lose all that within 3 days.
Yeah, like.
And you haven't been on there in months. So.
Right.
I would say you'd lose probably everything because you're not used to it.
Right. So I think having that realization was really cool. That like you. Okay.
All right, that's
you're getting
cool.
So you
that
felt
back.
good at
It felt great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
What else did you
Very
want to ask? I
happy.
feel like you had something else you wanted to.
No, that was it. I would just we didn't get to like promote it last week because we had all that craziness at the with the live episode,
right.
which I thought was fun.
Live episode
Got
worked
some
out.
good reviews
We
on
did
that.
get some.
Yeah.
I actually got some good reviews
Yeah,
as well.
yeah,
I listened to
It
most of it.
sounded a lot better when I listened back than when we were doing
Than
it.
when we were doing it.
Because
I
while we
thought
were
it was a
doing it, I
disaster
thought it
while
was
we were-
too.
yeah.
But it was fun. It was
Goes to
It
show
was
you.
different.
it tailed off at the end a little bit, but that's.
But what do you
But we
expect when
kept
you bring off
it.
heroin?
We kept it pretty quick, an hour. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
But no, it was good. It was fun. Even having that random guy on who had nothing, but it was interesting because
That was hilarious, man.
that guy was just so relaxed that he was just like,
Dude, what does that guy do in a day that wasn't
I don't know.
a thing for him?
that was the weirdest.
Maybe
thing
he just felt like this obviously isn't a big podcast that nobody's listening to, so why not? No. I
No,
think
but
he just
even
took it in stride. Some
I
people
guess.
take things better in stride than others. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think he was thrilled.
He was
or-
totally unaffected by
Yeah,
it.
I think, that's what it
No, like,
was.
outside, I saw him outside, and
Oh,
he was
right,
talking
after
to all
the
his
show.
friends. He was excited.
Oh, really?
He was just like, I think it was
It was
more,
such a shock.
It was
to
such
him.
a. He was like in shock that he was on there. It was weird.
I guess. I don't know what. Yeah, that was. It was fun to do. I just wasn't sure, like, with the revolving guests and
was
how it was
weird,
going to come off.
but,
It felt very weird.
I think
And,
if we do it again, we'd have to get some.
I think it would be a lot better the second time around. Now that we know how to
Yeah, I
what to
think-
expect a little more too.
if we get we can get some comics on there. I mean, Chris, no offense, but your friends aren't
They're
the
not
most.
comics. Yeah, they're not the most interesting.
They don't bring
No,
much.
it's not even that they're not interesting. They're
Well-
probably better in a.
I think
like if
that's
they were just
part of
hanging
it.
around here and
Yeah.
we were bullshitting.
Exactly.
Totally
Yeah.
It's
different.
weird for anybody
Well,
to get up
that's
if
the
you're not
thing,
doing
it's
it all the
weird,
time.
and especially I don't think they were expecting to
Yeah.
be called onto a show.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I think that the general consensus was we thought we were just watching.
Yeah.
Oh, all right.
And,
Okay.
I don't even think they were watching though.
And it's
Well,
also you don't know where to go, what to do, what to
well, and
say.
that's the
Like,
thing.
yeah.
They're not performers, so they're not like.
No, it was good though. I thought it was a lot of fun. It was
liked
a
it.
surprise.
I enjoy your friends. though. You hang out with some good people.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are
No.
good people. It's always good to
Carl
see them.
Wheels.
Carl was
Carl
fun.
Wheels was fun, man.
That was just fun hanging out with him before we even got
We
on.
gotta get him back.
Leaving him
We
places.
should. The picture you posted on Instagram on
With
the
him
social-
giving the
was it
finger?
Adult Baby's Instagram? That was
Yeah,
hilarious.
it was a funny because he was giving me the finger as he caught me taking the picture of
Yeah,
him just
Through
sitting
like
there.
3 doorways.
But no, yeah, and like I said, I think we should do another live episode.
Yeah, we're
Or not necessarily live, but treat it like a live episode.
I think we could
I think
do.
we should do a live.
I think we could do a live one at a small bar. somewhere and invite people to come in and
And
watch.
just kind of talk to them and stuff.
Yeah, we could take questions. I don't know. People that are
It'd be
listening.
fun.
We'd have to, if we're gonna go live, we'd have to really figure out,
We'd have to figure out how to do it, but
To put an ounce of thought into it.
yeah, we'd have to
Yeah.
put more.
yeah, we didn't put much thought into this one. But it was more of we had the space and let's give it a shot.
Yeah.
And I don't know, it was fun.
I do have some picks this week if I can.
I know you do.
we
I
have
see.
time?
I see you itching.
I've,
Damn right you have time.
I just want to make sure.
Always time for chicks picks.
And
There's always time
I'm
for
not
this
as
now.
prepared as I normally was, but no, here we go. Here it is.
As you normally are.
And I'm
I usually have it sitting here waiting for
a
me.
list that's longer than this whole table.
No, not I don't mean ill prepared as not having it. Just I wasn't ready.
Oh,
for
it wasn't open.
Okay.
Yes.
You brought it up though this week.
Yeah.
No, I know it's because I was thinking about it. But
I was
first, I'm going to go right off
I
the
was
bat.
thinking it,
I've been
and then I
talking about
said
those HBO 2-part documentaries
Now-
that they're doing.
Can I interrupt you for 1
Yeah,
second?
before I even get my first one in. Sure.
When we were talking earlier with like you were saying some movies could be like stretched into a series.
Mhm.
The way I like the way
HBO is the
does-
best with documentaries.
2-part series, I can handle that.
Yeah, perfect.
That's the way to do it. I don't need 5
Done? I
parts.
didn't know about these.
Okay, so they
All right,
did.
here we go. Go. Give your pick.
I told you about the one with the girl's boyfriend or the girlfriend who had the boyfriend commit suicide.
Yeah. Oh, that's HBO.
That was
okay.
a 2-part
All right,
HBO,
right.
and what they did is 3 crime documentaries in a matter of 3 weeks. They did 2 parts each week,
Okay, cool.
so there's 3 different ones. Last week's was Behind Closed Doors. It's the Talwar story. It's basically a documentary on a murder of a young girl and guy in 2008 in Noida, India.
Okay.
And they wind up charging the parents with it, and it's I don't want to go into the story, but a young girl and an older guy got killed inside the house, and the parents are the ones who were suspected, whether they had accomplices or not. It's just all about that. It's good. HBO does great documentaries. I love their crime documentaries.
So it was good.
Yeah, so it's called Behind Closed Doors.
Do you recommend it?
Yes, highly. I love their crime documentaries. So, Behind Closed Doors is that one. Another one that I just came across, and I told you I'm obsessed with the 60s and that time period.
Mm-hmm.
So I watched a documentary called The Day the 60s Died. And it centers around the Kent State shooting with
Yeah.
all like the anti-war.
Oh, that shit's crazy. That Kent State
Yes. Now, the 60s ended in, 69 we walked on the moon, 68 Bobby Kennedy and Martin Luther King got
69 was a
assassinated.
crazy year for America.
The 60s were crazy.
Mm-hmm.
What is that
What-
face that
what
you're
is
giving
that?
me?
69. It all came together in 69. The Mets. The Mets won the
Yeah,
World
Mets
Series.
won the World Series.
There was a lot of things happening in 69. That's all I'm
You
saying.
just want me
the
to
way
get to
you're
the
saying
Jets, and I
it is-
refuse to say it.
Jets won in 68, but
No, 69.
68, 69.
This game was in 69.
Yeah.
Was it not?
No, it was.
When you see what year they won the Super Bowl, what does it say?
They say 68.
No, they don't.
They do.
It says 19.
All right, go on,
This
you
is-
jerk.
Whatever. It's just called The Day the 60s Died, and it's all about how that.
It was when the Jets won the Super Bowl.
No, it's just basically about the ending of that generation into the 70s, how the anti-war college campus, all that shit was like just escalated.
The anti-war college campus and all that.
Yeah,
shit.
you know what I mean. Well, that's what college campuses were huge anti-war protests and all that shit. I'm
All
on
right.
tonight.
Okay.
Number
Either
3.
way, it's great. The Day the 60s Died. Interesting documentary, and it centers around Kent State, which I didn't know a lot about.
Okay.
The actual goings-on of Kent
The
State.
goings on.
That's actually grammatically correct.
I'm so
Okay.
glad we had time for these picks.
Yeah.
You know what? They would be a lot better if B didn't sit there with that condescending look, just making fun of every line that comes out of my mouth.
It's hilarious to me. It's one of my favorite parts.
But anyway, very interesting.
Okay.
And the other one is The Last Tsar.
Oh, I want about the Russians.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's on Netflix. It's like one of those documentaries and short series. When I don't even say anything bad, I can't look at you and do these anymore.
Well, then don't
From
look
now
at me.
on with the picks, you might have to turn around.
Don't. No. You have to look the other way because
might have
I'm
to
going to
turn around.
continue to smile when you
Because
tell
I'm
you.
like, even when I'm like, did I just say something stupid? But I realize
No.
I'm not even, and he's still giving me that look ready
No,
to
you're not saying
That-
anything.
He's ready to
that's not
stomp.
something about what's going on in your head. Though.
I know,
It's
I
all
know.
in
It
your
is.
head.
It is all in my head. But if I'm going to take a picture of you. But anyway, it's like a documentary and series where they go back and forth between.
It's gonna be Chick's pick of you.
Yeah.
It's a short series documentary where they go back and forth between like with actors in an actual series, and then they have parts where it's like a documentary style, with like a narrator.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I thought when I go in, I thought it was a short series when I got into it, but it's not. It's like a mixture of the two.
Oh, I don't know if I like that.
I wasn't thrilled going into it.
I don't know if I love when they try to mix it like that.
It was done pretty good, I thought. I thought it was done extremely well.
Is it like one of those old school History Channel reenactments though, or is there
No. It's much more like an actual actors with a real like acting.
Oh, okay,
you know what I mean?
cool.
It wasn't so.
It wasn't. Like,
It wasn't like amateur hour.
Gee,
But it was just a really cool story because it's about the murder of the imperial family, the Romanovs in Russia right after World War One.
The Romanovs.
That was the imperial family. And it's just about how they got killed and basically let in for, I believe it was Lenin at the time.
Yeah, so it was like the revolution.
Basically, and it was just really interesting, and I knew nothing about it. So I thought it was pretty cool. Like I said, I thought it was going to be a short series. It wasn't. It had like a narration to it and like part documentary, part series.
I didn't know that about
It's
that.
like...
that's actually the first time you actually gave me like decent information on a show.
That's not the first time I've given you
Yes.
Most people will listen and realize what I'm saying. You like to...
Who's most people?
I get a lot of people who enjoy... Oh, I listened to that when you said it. Like, they obviously understand what I'm saying.
You're getting nervous.
I'm getting annoyed. I'm not getting nervous.
Things are happy. You're flailing your arms.
My glass is always fogging this weather.
Relax.
But those are my 3 picks. Behind Closed Doors on HBO. The Last Saw on Netflix. I almost choked there. And The Day the 60s Died on Amazon.
Yeah, it was just hard.
Yeah.
I was thoroughly pleased with all 3 of those. And I would say everyone should go get a ticket to go see Quentin Tarantino's new flick, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I'd rather you not come to the movie I'm going to, people. I don't want to see anybody I know.
Be inundated by fans.
I fucking hate small talk, and if I just don't want to see anybody. That's why I got the ticket by myself.
But you will be signing hats.
If somebody asked for an autograph, I'd sign away.
Would you?
No, obviously.
I
wouldn't tell my fans no, but I don't have any fans.
I get an autograph by you. You have fans, chick.
You have
fans.
A couple, yeah.
There's a lot of people that enjoy what you did. In fact, I talked to previous guest of the podcast, Matt MC, Matt McGlock, and he sent a beautiful image of you.
That's what I wanted to talk about
Huey.
before, and you said, Baby Herman.
Baby Herman.
You are wasted, I feel like.
No, I'm not. It's Sour Patch Kids.
He's about to drop some.
Enough with the candy. I can just see the red Irish face. Yeah, bro, he's drinking. He's been drinking with Matt before the show, so he's tanked probably.
That's not true. That's not true. What are you talking about?
Anyway, what were you gonna say though? About the I thought you had more to say about
that.
Baby
We have
Herman.
beautiful fan art that came to our email that you didn't show me.
It went to our email and it's still in our fan email. It's in our fan email.
So we're gonna throw that on the Instagram.
Yeah.
That was.
I don't delete the emails. I'm just more organized than you guys, and all you have to do is look.
You delete the emails.
I delete nonsense that's like this person liked this or this person shared that. Anything that actually has fan interaction or a listener or somebody who took the time to write something, I'm keeping it.
Okay.
That's what it meant though.
No, I just put it in on just so you guys could read it.
He prints them out and it's on his wall.
Yeah, that's when I go to sleep at night. It's on my ceiling.
These are my fans.
But
all right, so yeah, I want to thank Matt for that because I saw that tonight.
Matt.
Did you guys hear about the boxer who died, by the way?
Yeah.
You did hear about that?
Pete or something?
I don't know his nickname. It was Russian.
Not Whitaker.
No,
not Whitaker.
There was a fight the day before the Pacquiao fight.
Yeah, I did see
Some
that.
guy got his ass kicked. Like, he got beaten for like 12 rounds. And apparently the cornerman wanted to stop the fight, never did.
Ooh.
Like, he wound up because the guy wanted to keep him going out there.
Yeah.
After the fight, took him to the hospital, went into coma, brain bleed, died today. Crazy, right?
Jeez, I didn't know it was after a fight.
Yeah, no, it's because of a fight. Fucked up. That's why I always say boxing's worse than MMA. Because MMA, you knock somebody out, but that's it. It's long-term damage. It's not getting... How many punches? These guys land 1,000 punches on a guy's face in 12 rounds.
Okay, yes, but in MMA, the gloves are a lot thinner.
Yes, but the impact is quicker, and it's over quicker. Even 5-round fight was 5, but a 5-round fight's half the time. I mean, even if...
5-minute rounds, though.
It's 25 minutes as opposed to 12 3-minute, which is 36. It's about 11 extra minutes.
Yeah, but it's also like you're not getting shit.
Wait, boxing is 11.
My whole thing is when you're, it's a bit. To me, MMA is more gruesome.
Right.
Well,
but
it's a tougher sport. I think boxing is.
I like boxing
I like them
better,
both.
but my whole thing is
I
they're
like
just
MMA
different.
better, but I think MMA is a fight. I think boxing is a sport.
Yes.
I think MMA is a fight.
Yes, but here's my thing. Would you rather somebody hit you in the face once, right? You get knocked out, fight's over. Or would you rather get destroyed in your face for 12
I don't
rounds?
think that's what happens in MMA a lot, though. That's just the
I
conception
know,
of MMA.
but there's still more punches and it's strictly to the face. It's not...
Yeah, but
you could
there's
be on the ground in an MMA fight,
100% more kicks in MMA.
but they're going to the legs.
Not always. Sometimes
But
they
very
go
rare to
behind
the
you.
face. Those are rare, and those are usually knockouts when they get kicked in the head.
Yeah, but you don't want to get knocked out with a kick. to
See,
the
I'm
head,
not
you know?
knocking it that it's...
No, I'm not
Yeah,
saying.
you know, like, I'm not coming at it.
I don't know which is going to be worse.
I think as
In the long run.
medically, I think boxing is worse because it's...
You definitely
All the
take,
hits to the head?
you
It just
take
hits- yeah,
more
because
like
it's-
subconcussive blows. in
Exactly, and when you're getting hit, this guy died not because of one punch that knocked him out without. If he got,
boxing. No, it's all the
it was
subconcussive lighter
it's
blows.
concussive.
are-
It's constant blows on the head,
Yeah.
Right.
and it's repetitive over and over for 12 rounds.
Oof.
You know what I
But
mean?
I
So
do think you have more longevity in boxing than you do MMA. In some instances,
I think
you're
because
not
the
seeing a
sport.
Floyd Mayweather of MMA, where the guy's like 40-something years old.
I mean,
and
Anderson Silva
undefeated.
was the closest. Well, the only reason why is because you can't do it
Anderson
as long.
Silva. No, well, that's
You
the
need to
thing.
be more
That's what I'm-
athletic for a long.
But that's exactly what I'm saying, though.
but that's not a health thing. I'm talking about strictly
No, I'm
unhealthy
talking
for
about
head issues.
longevity in the sport. Floyd Mayweather's been.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I'm not. I'm
I
saying
mean, Silva, sure, has been doing it for a while, but he's gotten his ass kicked.
most
Like-
boxers will have brain. Look at Muhammad Ali at Parkinson. I mean, he's pretty much like from.
And I think you'll see the same thing with MMA. It's just that MMA has only been around since like '93.
See, I don't know if I agree with that
I think you'll
because
see
I think the
same brain
sport is
damage.
safer in the grand scheme of things than boxing, in my opinion. It's just my opinion.
I don't know. I don't disagree with you. I just don't know if that's the case.
I
But
just
don't
feel
know,
like
but
the
data
gruesomeness of
isn't
a
there.
kick that's like I punched him, I knocked him out, and now I'm done hitting him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but that's not every MMA fight. That's the
But
thing.
it's a lot.
I don't know about
Over
that.
the course of a boxer's
Some of these
career
guys
or an
are-
MMA fighter, who's taking more punches to the head?
boxing, but because you can only punch in boxing.
And that's the other thing.
Yeah, I agree with you. But
It's the
I-
one
I
part of your
think that
brain
they're
that's getting hit.
Hit harder in MMA.
But it's less. To me, they're still getting hit hard, and it's the same spot they're getting hit in.
Yeah.
It's not like this fight. I was on the ground mostly. I got grappled. He tapped me out. That fight, we stood up and bought. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's
No,
not
I know,
always.
I get what you're saying.
So
Yeah,
I think
I
the
don't-
repetition and the constant battering of a
I'm with
head
that, but
is
also
unhealthier than.
what I will say about
And the constant
both of
nuts to
them-
the forehead in MMA. So that adds something.
That adds something for sure. That's a lot of subconcussive blows in there. Yeah, I don't know. I don't disagree with you.
That's
I
just my reasoning.
I just think that I'm interested to see in the coming years the data that comes out about MMA fighters because boxing's been a sport for so.
Well, that's the other
long.
thing. There's a lot more statistics
Yeah.
behind it than MMA. But I would be curious. I feel like less MMA guys too, like you said, because you have to be more athletic, to an extent.
Yeah.
Like
Well, you have to be.
you have to be more
well-rounded.
spry, and
need
but you have to
a
be.
fighter all the way around.
If you're older in boxing, you could stand with somebody in box.
Well, that's the
once
thing.
you
Well, you
get
just saw
older and you
Pacquiao
can't
win this
move,
past
or
weekend.
you know what I'm saying.
And
Well,
he's what,
Manny,
40?
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
that
you're
won't
not
happen.
seeing that in
That
MMA.
won't happen in MMA.
No.
Very rarely. I mean Anderson
there's
Silva was the closest thing to it.
exceptions to
How
it.
old was he?
It's
He
It's
was
not
like
even that he was old as much as
36,
he was like
something like
36,
that,
but
yeah.
he
But he
was
was doing it
he
for-
was the champion for.
He was doing it
the
for a
longest
while,
period
but
of
once he
time.
lost that title, he never.
He never quite got back to where he was.
He kept fighting because
But he had that
money, I think,
14
but-
straight
Oh, okay.
defenses of that title.
Well,
like,
while he was on top, he was on top.
and it was for a significant period of time. Most
Yeah.
guys are 2-3 years and then they're.
Yeah.
You have your exceptions, but you're not getting many Pacquiaos who are 40 and winning
Right.
fights.
Yeah, and it's a different sport. You don't have. You could stay like.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess a boxer could stay. I don't know. I mean, like you said, I just feel like punch drunk is more of a thing in boxing than.
yeah, I think
Then-
you're
then
right
MMA.
there.
You ever
You're
hear
hitting
Leon
on that.
Spinks talk when he was
That's what I'm
on?
saying.
Oh,
Any
Jesus.
boxer who was a boxer, they can't even speak anymore. They're like completely
Yeah,
retarded.
yeah, well,
But like that's also the thing. Like I think the oldest MMA fighters are like in their
Well, I guess you're
mid-40s right now. Like that's the oldest guys. So
No, I mean, and that I get what you're like. That I could see
yeah,
what you're
so
saying.
I'm
I
interested
get
to
that
see what
point.
happens in the future. I think they're both not good.
Yeah,
They
neither are
definitely
good.
shouldn't
Yeah,
be
they
getting
can't
cracked
be.
in the head.
I just think it's like
But-
the repetition of boxing is why I think it's worse. Not that it's
I'm with
more
that.
brutal. I just think,
Yeah.
and it's not as visual. So you don't know how bad your brain's
That's
doing
true.
per se.
They're getting clocked a bit more, but because their gloves are a little bit thicker, it doesn't do the same cutting or anything.
Yeah,
like that.
and
Yeah.
you take it longer.
Yeah.
As opposed, that's why I'm saying sometimes without the gloves, the fight's quicker and less damaging long run.
Yeah, I'm with that.
That's my reasoning
Yeah.
behind it. But that was my. I just saw the boxing guy. The
He
guy
loves
died today,
talking
and I thought it
about-
was crazy because it reminded me of Rocky too.
Rocky.
I mean, he died in the ring basically.
Yeah.
What an epic,
But that was a great
what
scene.
epic movies though. The Rocky
Fantastic.
movies.
One of my
Even
all-time
six.
favorites.
Speaking of remakes, kind of.
But that's not a remake. It's
Rocky
adding on.
six?
Yeah, but they added on.
But they added on.
I guess
And it
that's the
was
same
still,
thing that we were saying about
20
the Die
years
Hard.
later?
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that was
might
good.
be the best one.
Yeah, I mean,
The
That's-
new
I
Rambo,
think-
I laugh at because he killed a million guys in that
See, I
new
didn't
one.
see that
I
one.
didn't watch
because
it.
It was
looked so
he
upsetting.
took out a whole army with the. He got on that gun
yeah.
and he was just they took out a whole army.
It looked
one
so
person.
upsetting to me that I just didn't see it.
Yeah, I didn't like it.
But Rocky Balboa, Rocky 6, I think
Creed
is
was
my
good.
favorite. I
Yeah.
didn't see Creed.
Creed was very
Creed
good
was
too.
good?
Yeah,
Creed
Creed
was
was
good.
good. Creed was
Yeah.
really good too. But
Wait, what was Rocky 6?
Rocky Balboa.
Rocky
it was
Balboa.
called.
Oh, that's right. Oh, yeah, I like that one.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say it was
They
my
did a
favorite.
good job with Rocky Balboa and Creed.
I think
They really
I
did.
gotta
It was
see
good.
Creed.
Yeah,
I really
yeah.
wanna
And
see
Creed 2, right? They have two
Well, see,
Creeds.
I
now.
had the option to watch Creed 2 on a plane once, but I didn't see Creed 1, so
Oh,
I didn't
yeah.
watch it.
All right, that makes
But-
sense. Creed 2 was good.
Yeah.
I mean, they were both good. I thought the new guy who's playing Creed, I don't know what's his name.
Michael Jordan.
Michael Jordan was good. He was a great actor.
Did you see that he wanted to box somebody for real?
Did he?
Yeah.
What about all
Oh.
Justin Bieber wanting to
No,
box
he wanted
Tom
to-
Cruise?
Tom Cruise.
He wanted to box, what's his name?
Yeah.
Roy Jones Jr.
Yes. Right. Yeah. No.
You know what I will say? I
Yeah,
heard,
that.
and I don't. I heard when Carl, what was his name? Carl
Winslow.
No, the one who played Apollo Creed. Carl Weathers.
Oh, Carl
Yeah.
Weathers. Yeah,
Carl
yeah.
Weathers and Sylvester Stallone in the prime of Rocky, like when they were in their like prime training. Somebody who was training them said they both of them, probably could have fought professionally. It's how skilled they were at that point
Really?
with the training of it.
Yeah.
Maybe not as a heavyweight, but I mean, when you're training something that much, these guys.
Those
are
guys
probably-
do go
I
through
guarantee they were also fairly athletic guys as well.
Oh yeah, I'm sure they were
Sort of
trained
pick
at a
up-
time,
probably
but-
could.
He said they were
Take
at a
the
level.
steroids out of it for a second.
Well, most guys
That's
do.
true.
Professional athletes do some sort of performance enhancing
Yeah,
drugs
probably.
at some point.
But go ahead and test Stallone. See what.
I'm not saying he wasn't on steroids. He was still there. I heard they were excellent boxers.
No,
at
I'm
that
sure they were
point.
there. I mean,
They're probably training
they looked
excessively
super
for it too.
athletic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Remember how shredded they were for that?
Yes.
Oh my God, that scene when that scene always makes me laugh when they're running on the beach together and
Oh,
like
it's the
those
best
half
scene.
shirts,
Yeah.
and they just start hugging each other at the end and
Yeah.
jumping up and down.
They got their bare midriffs.
Yeah. This is when B gets out. He hates talking about
He's all set
fighting.
with this.
What are you talking about?
You said you don't really watch it a lot.
I don't watch it a lot.
Yeah, I'm not knocking it. Relax.
So I'm talking about. What are you talking about?
Guys,
Shut up.
if you made it this
If you
far.
made it this far, I think. Oh, does anybody have anything else that went on this week?
No.
Other than that heat
That's
wave,
it.
everybody stay cool. It was brutal this weekend.
Yeah.
Did you
that
guys
was
stay
cool.
out of the heat?
I actually stayed in the heat. I had a grad
Oof.
party in a backyard on Saturday, and
Oof.
the heat thing on my phone said it was 111 degrees.
It was tough.
Brutal. I was in the AC, thank God.
I
in
worked
the
all
pool a
weekend.
little bit.
Damn heat.
Yeah, how was it?
It was tough.
I
It
don't
wasn't
blame
fun.
you. That had to be
Yeah,
awful.
that
You
sucks.
need a new job already.
No, it's good. It's good. They're treating me good over
No,
there.
I know you like it. I'm happy for you. But yeah, if you guys made it this far, review us on the podcast Purple iTunes app. Please review
Purple.
us.
Purple. I
Well, that's what because whenever I say iTunes, it's not
People
really
don't
iTunes.
realize- yeah.
it's
It's
the
Apple Podcasts,
that
yeah.
purple Apple
Yeah.
podcast.
Go
app
in that
thing.
purple app.
Go in there. You can write a review.
I don't want
It
to see a
takes
fucking green app.
24
Yeah.
hours for the review to go through, just so people who think it didn't
We got
go.
a couple recently, so
Yes,
thank you guys for that.
That was all Mr. McCaffrey, your episode.
Yes,
got
thank
us a
you.
lot of feedback.
Mr. McCaffrey's
and
episode did very well.
It did very
Yes,
well.
thank
We got a
you.
lot of reviews on it, and anybody, please go on there. Even if you know us and you listen to everything and you just don't want to
Just
review,
write a little message.
write a little message on there. 5 stars,
Yeah.
4 stars. Be
Second.
honest.
Yeah.
Tell us if you think we're only
Yeah.
3 stars. Give us 3 stars.
Yeah. We don't
Yeah.
care.
Honest reviews.
Stick to 5 though.
And
if we
like I
can.
said,
It doesn't
adultbabyshow.com if you want
yeah.
to contact us or have any suggestions on anything. And tell us your thoughts on things that we talk about.
Give us your thoughts.
Yeah, but breadheads.
Breadheads, if you have any advice for a young sourdough
Connoisseur.
connoisseur like myself, it's welcomed. I could use the advice. So thank you. I have a few shows this weekend. I'll be in Staten Island on Wednesday.
Shaolin.
Yeah, Shaolin style at the Little Victory Theater.
Is it on Victory Boulevard?
I have no idea, maybe. But, I'm doing theaters now. And then Friday I'll be...
doing theaters now.
Saturday I'll be in West Hampton Beach with my friend Chick. Chick is driving me. I hired him to drive me to the Hamptons. I'll be I believe I'm hosting that show. So you can see me host the show.
I can't wait. Do
Either
I have
way.
to go in, or can I just drive there and hang out
Yeah,
outside?
you can do whatever you want,
and
man.
get high the whole time.
You do it. You're hired that night.
Yeah. So
what you do during when I'm on stage is up to you. But if I bomb, you're gonna want to watch that.
I can't wait. No, I'll probably come in, and if it sucks, I'll walk out.
Yeah, and then Sunday.
And I'll tell you how bad it sucked.
Yes, please. Tell us on the podcast. And then Sunday I'll be at Comics Mohegan Sun, Last Comic Standing, round 1.
Oh, that's this weekend?
That's this Sunday, yes, sir.
Nice.
I have a busy week.
Are you taking a ferry there?
I'm taking my car. And I have a room.
Why don't you drive onto the ferry?
Maybe.
Did I tell you I did that when I went to the
Yeah.
Wu-Tang? It was one of my very pleasant
All right,
experiences.
maybe I'll do the ferry.
Takes it a little time off. You get to hang out in
Does
the
it
boat.
take time off?
Well, you figure, just for argument's sake, from us,
it probably does.
half hour to Port Jeff, 45-minute ride, and then it's about an hour and a half. So
All right, maybe
do
I'll
the math. It's probably around the same amount of time, but you don't have to drive or sit in traffic or any of that bullshit.
All right. Yeah, because that cuts off like the big meat part of it, where you're in the like.
Yeah, exactly. And it's just nice to sit there on a boat. You know, nice
It is a
surroundings.
Sunday. I'll be driving up on a Sunday, so.
All right, but you still
Yeah,
get
either
your car
way.
and stuff.
Yeah,
I don't know,
maybe
it's
I'll
just
do
my
that.
thoughts
I don't know,
to
we'll
take
see.
the ferry.
So I'm sure I'll report back to you guys next week about how awful these shows go.
And I'm trying to get in touch with Chris Morgan. Hopefully I can
Yeah,
before then.
we tried to call him before
I'm trying
the
to
show.
call him and get into
Yes.
I'm trying to pick a fight with him because I hate him now. And now I see him all over the place.
Oh, you didn't go to that dunk thing, huh?
No, I
No,
didn't.
he doesn't do it.
If I see him,
What
I'll,
happened to chick who's doing things?
It doesn't happen. You know, chick doesn't.
I've been doing a lot of things. It's just
What?
not what you like. When you asked me to do so, I've been very busy.
Where have you been?
I forget where I was when you asked me.
But he's seen every show on Netflix.
Yeah,
I'm never gonna not watch shows.
you can't.
But all right, guys, we always manage to
This
go a
is the
little
longest
7
outro.
minutes outro every time. But if you made it this far,
We're wrapping up. We're wrapping up.
We did.
I feel like we're full of things.
we were full of things, full of nonsense, but it was good
Full of
nonsense.
This is
Full of nonsense.
well, you know what? We needed an
Well,
episode
this
where
whole
the three of
show
us
is
together.
nonsense.
Well,
I actually enjoyed this one.
I
was
actually
fun.
had
It was
a good
fun.
time.
It was
guys.
fun.
I hope you had a good time too. AdultBabyShow.com.
See you later.